So it has been around 2 weeks since Yves' re-debut with her mini album and title track Loop, and I really wanted to get this theory video out a lot faster, but I really didn't have that much time, so sorry, I guess. The MV seemingly doesn't inherently have a lot of lore in it, but it still tells us a story, and I will try to connect it to the other subunits, so let's get right into it. Similar to Chuu's MVs, where she feels sad being in a dark place, we start off this MV with a dark subway, and Yves is looking down while these robot things surround her. So just like with Chuu, this could be about how she felt like during the hiatus and when she was still with her old company. Feeling like you're stuck in this dark place and everything around you is kind of scary. I mean, the members had a lot of struggles in the past and a lot of people around them were causing stress as well. So in this sense, all of these eyes around her could be a symbol for these people that push and pull Yves and make her feel anxious. When the music starts, the robots are gone, and then the lights turn on. Another interesting metaphor for how music can help you get out of these dark places, and in Yves' case she has also talked a lot about how much her music means to her, so this seems quite fitting. Now she walks around in the subway until she sees these robots again and these girls in colorful clothing that are watching her. Now these girls surround her and touch her. It's like they want Yves to dance and force her to obey. She, of course, runs away from this weird situation because she wants to do her own thing instead of giving in to other people's wishes. While running away, she loses her backpack and she looks back at it. Now this backpack is quite interesting because it feels a little random and out of place for there to be a backpack with sand in it. But this to me feels like a reference to the past. Sand is often used to symbolize time, through hourglasses, which have sand in them, and of course the poetic reference to a human life being but one grain of salt in the overall timeline of the universe. I mean, just remember that the time span in between the Stegosaurus and the Tyrannosaurus Rex is bigger than the time span in between the Tyrannosaurus Rex and humans. So yeah, just puts things into perspective, I guess. So this is a blast to the past. We can see the makeup mirror that Yves gave to Choerry in the Girlfriend MV, and that is also featured in the Cinema Theory video where Yves meets Choerry. This time it is complete again, and not taken apart. If this has any significance, I'm not quite sure, but of course this could be a metaphor for how Yves is not connected to Choerry anymore, but I don't know. Then we have a Rubik's Cube, a cube that has 9 boxes on each side, and 9 being the number of Yves. And then there is a necklace. So overall I believe that this could be a reference to Yves having to leave behind her past to move forward. All of the Loona members had to take a great risk by leaving their old company behind and starting all over again. They had to leave behind their members, their memories, and, well, in a way they had to leave behind Loona as a whole. Loona as of now has not re-debuted, and if they were to do so, they might be getting in trouble with their old company. So the members might felt like they had to leave their old selves behind to move on. Which in this MV is shown through Yves losing her backpack with all of her old memories of Loona, while running away from the people that are trying to force her to perform, which could be a metaphor for her old company. So maybe Yves felt like she was stripped of her past by having to move on so fast. And kind of being all alone, since she and Chuu are the only 2 members that are now going solo instead of joining a new subunit. And you can see this in terms of the lore as well. The members were forced apart by some type of force or powerful being, and now some of the members, like Chuu and Yves, are all alone. Now they have nothing left from their old lives and have to move on without any closure. And maybe even without any memories. Which could also explain the sand. Maybe the sand is a symbol for all of the memories that Yves has lost. She still remembers meeting Choerry through the mirror, but she doesn't really clearly remember her members anymore, so all of these memories just turned into sand, which she is carrying around. But in a way, Yves seems to be kind of relieved after losing her backpack. Maybe the backpack felt like a burden to her, or something like that. Now her mirror self starts to dance, and this makes the people around Yves dance as well. This could be a reference to Yves taking things into her own hands. Instead of being forced to dance, she now starts to dance on her own and makes the other people around her follow her lead. But even though she ran away and started building her own future, the robots are still following her around, so she isn't quite free yet. Now we change locations and Yves changes her outfit. And we can see how Yves' confident dancing destroys the robots. It makes them light up in flames, similar to the robots in the Girls' Night MV. To me, it feels like Yves is maybe trying to show us how she overcame these negative thoughts and feelings, and people as well, by creating her own music and performing. These evil robots have no control over her anymore, because she is now free. And just quick little note on the mirror references in both the lyrics and the MV. This could be a reference to the lore, because in my theory the person Choerry talks to while looking in the mirror in the Love Chair Motion MV could be Yves. So it could be that this is a reference to Yves finding confidence in herself through the mirror member, but generally speaking I feel like this MV has a lot less references to the lore overall, so I feel like this might just is a little fan service moment and less of a lore relevant thing. Overall, the MV seems to be a personal story of Yves that she tries to convey to us through music and the MV of course. Now there are a lot of robots that fly by Yves, but she doesn't seem to care anymore. She just confidently finishes her dance. Maybe a reference to how the members moved on through their music, but a specific company that will not be named is still trying to F them over and stop them from moving on. But the members now are confident enough to just keep going and ignoring their old company. Overall, I really like this comeback / redebut for Yves. It's a really great song, and I really like the MV as well. In terms of the lore, this could be, just like in Chuu's case, a one-off story that is connected to the lore but doesn't necessarily further the story in any way. Chuu showed us how she overcame her struggles and how she now is stronger than ever. In a way, I could imagine Yves and Chuu being the ones to save the Loossemble and ARTMS members out of their situations, since Yves and Chuu seem to be headed into a happy and strong future, having overcame their struggles and being more confident and stronger than ever, while the Loossemble and ARTMS members seem to be headed to the world's end, kind of. It seems like the subunits are struggling a lot more through the eye machine things in the Loossemble MV and the light being in the ARTMS members MV. So maybe Chuu's comeback will have some reference to the new lore and maybe the ARTMS and Loossemble members. And maybe, just maybe, she will have Yves feature on the album. This is less of a theory and more so a wish of mine. I just really like Yves and Chuu together, so I'm just really hoping. That was the theory video for Yves' Loop MV, and I will see you next time with the tier list, or maybe even an analysis video for Chuu's comeback, if she will post a teaser next week, but I can't say for sure. So if you liked the video, you can like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.